Hello, welcome back. Episode 10 already. I Know About Sports podcast. I'm your host, Noah Arnold. It is October 31st, Halloween night. It is very late, 11:13 p.m. Jets just scored a touchdown with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae for the first time in a couple years on Thursday Night Football. But I won't be talking about Thursday Night Football. I'll be talking about the predictions for college football this week, week 10 of the 2024 season. We're already in week 10. It's November already. Yeah, crazy how time flies, and it's still 80 degrees outside. And it'll be 80 degrees heading in this weekend in November. Weird stuff, I guess. But yeah, it's been the last crazy couple days. Maybe late at night, but I didn't go out for Halloween. I got a bunch of homework and stuff to do. It's hard being a straight A student. Some don't get to this point, and that's okay. But yeah, so last night I got to call a exhibition game between the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Worcester Fighting Scots. The men's game called the Women's Game Tuesday. A blast to do this. And I forgot right before tip-off that men's college basketball does halves. I don't know how I forgot that. So I thought I was going to do second, fourth. Instead I did second half. So it was cool. It was cool. Second half, though, Arden Conyers came off the bench for Carolina. First time he's ever been in. He redshirted last year. Went to Westwood High School, right down the road from me, in a place I hate Westwood High School with a passion. But he was freaking phenomenal off the bench for the Gamecocks. 16 points in the second half, and boy, they needed it, because when he subbed in, it was 44-42 Gamecocks were up. And Worcester was on, I think, was like a 8-0 run at that point in the second half. So Worcester had a great chance to win this ball game. Game ended 86-60, so the final score looks better than what it actually was, because this was a very close game. The D3 team was taking it to the SEC team. Yeah, it was crazy. Cam Scott, the first time he's ever played collegiate basketball, first time he's ever been in his home environment, and he had 16 points. Had up and downs, but he looked like he was poised for the moment, poised for the role he's getting ready to get. Cam Scott with a ton of potential. He looked ready. But speaking of not looking ready, the guard spot looks rough for Carolina. Jabari Thomas couldn't the sunny side of a backboard, or sunny side of a barn, I should say. Oh, he was hitting the backboard. Zach Davis, how much could he improve his scoring? He went 0 of 4 from 3, 0 of 5 from the field. He was not great scoring-wise. It was one of the stories going in this game was him, and I also really wanted to see how Colin Murray Bowles improve that jump shot, maybe even a mid-range or a three-point shot. And early in the game, Boyles took a three from the right wing, and boy, it was not great looking. It was a complete air ball, not even close to the basket. And for the rest of the game, he pretty much just drove inside, and that's where he dominated. He dominated inside, in transition, got a lot of offensive rebounds. He's a great hustle player, great inside player. But just can't hit those jump shots, and maybe later in the season he can at least get a mid-ranger. I think he definitely needs a mid-range. But, yeah, Colin Murray Bowles looks like he's getting ready to step up to be the best player on this team. And try and lead them back to the March Madness tournament. And one thing I had this written down, and I made a mental note when it happened. Ashton Price, the guard for the Scots, the shot clock was winding down, so he just chucked it up. The play was broken, so he chucked it up from the damn near center court line, right in front of the press row, banged it, hit it in the first half, and when he turned around, I guess he was just wanting to stare down the first person he saw. It happened to be me. He stared me right in the eyes, calling that game, and it's the first time I've ever been stared down by a basketball player. At least I think so. Probably first time I've ever been stared down. Hopefully as a broadcaster, it's not the last time, because it's pretty interesting to get stared down by an athlete who just made a crazy play. And I think I even noted, I saw a comment after he said it, he said, "Man, I looked him eye. He just looked me eye to eye, and he is ice cold. He got ice in his veins. If you don't know, D'Angelo Russell, yeah, he had ice in his veins. He was cold. Yeah, that was crazy, and he has to be at least from 35 feet. So, yeah, man, it's crazy being stared at when you're at press row. Very unique experience. Found that out more ways than one. But let's get that week college football time of the week predictions. Last week I went 7-3, pretty good. Did pretty good on the season now, 64-33. So pretty good. Only Saturday games this week. We're going to start off with the biggest game of the weekend. It is number 4 Ohio State at number 3 Penn State. It can't get bigger than this. Another top 4 matchup for the Buckeyes. Another top 5 matchup in college football. It has been a great season for big-time matchups. But the thing is, can the Nittany Lions finally beat Ohio State? Under James Franklin, they are 1-9 against the Buckeyes, and they've lost their last 7. Yeah, it's just been rough sledding for Franklin whenever he plays either Ohio State or Michigan. And he looks to try and break that curse this Saturday. If he wants to do it, Drew Aller, his veteran quarterback, who the media loves. The main media will love to tell you how good Drew Aller is. But let me tell you, he is not. All right? He's not that guy, okay? I don't know why they've been hyping Drew Aller up for years, and he always disappoints. Always has. And I think he's better this year than he has in years past. But I think Saturday, rough, tough environment. The Buckeyes have already been tested with Oregon. Outside of last week's game against Nebraska, they've looked great and dominant all year. And simply put, I think the Buckeyes do it again in Happy Valley. James Franklin, it's going to have to be a see to believe if he can beat Ohio State. It's a see it and I'll believe it. So, simply put, if I don't see him beat Ohio State, I'm not going to believe he can beat Ohio State. Simple as that. The other noon game, Duke travels number 5 Miami. Duke is very good this season. I like Duke a lot in the preseason. I like him in November. The issue is that, yes, Malik Murphy is a good QB, but there is not a lot of other playmakers on this offense to provide a spark. They are not an explosive offense at all. They don't score 30 almost at all. And they win a lot because they get a lot of takeaways on defense, but I don't think they're going to do that against Cam Ward and the Hurricanes. So, simply put, give me Miami. Number 19, Ole Miss travels to Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks. It's a great upset spot. Great upset spot right here. But I think because Ole Miss, they maybe they're on the fringe of the playoff. Maybe the players are like, this is not what we signed up for. Maybe we can look out to a portal, get back out of here, or we look towards a draft to get our money. And maybe there's coaches flirting with other jobs. So it could be an upset spot. Of course, early day 2 in an Arkansas team that always comes out swinging. The issue is that I think this is going to be similar to the LSU game for Arkansas. And that's the Razorbacks just don't have the offense, especially explosive offense, to compete and pull off an upset. I think the Tennessee game was a mirage, a perfect storm, if you will, for a Razorback team that could pull the upset, as they were able to keep the game close because simply put, Tennessee just couldn't make the game not close. And yeah, I don't think Arkansas can score 20 to 24 on Ole Miss, and I think the Rebels can score easily 30 on Arkansas. So give me the Rebels, but watch this for a potential upset spot. Keep an eye on this game. What's not going to be an upset is number 1 Oregon travels to Ann Arbor to take on the Wolverines. The Wolverines are in a major rebuild year, and they'd be better off running a triple option. As simple as that. Give me the Wolverines in this one. Not the Wolverines, the Ducks. Take down the Wolverines. Number 1 team in the country looks like a well-oiled machine. And I think Dylan Gabriel gets a massive... And this could be a potential Heisman tendership game. Like, Gabriel has been the distant 4th, at least in my eyes and most people's eyes. He's been the distant 4th between the top 3 of Genty, Hunter, and Ward. Maybe if, Dylan Gabriel goes on the road against the national champions, granted, not what they were last year, I still think in this environment, he could get a couple looks. But yeah, so yeah, give me the Ducks. Number 2 team in the country takes on Florida. Number 2 Georgia takes on Florida, the world's largest cocktail party down in Jacksonville, Florida. Same goes to the game above. I think this game would be a lot closer if Graham Mertz wasn't hurt, but DJ Lagway, the freshman, will start. And while, yes, Lagway has a lot of potential, he's a pretty good quarterback for a freshman, it's still going to be a limited offense against this Georgia team, who's arguably the best team in the country. And I just don't think Florida can keep up with the Dogs. So, yeah, give me Georgia pretty handily over the Gators. Texas Tech travels to undefeated number 11 Iowa, 7-0. Cyclones are tied for 11th in the AP poll with Clemson. So why they're ties up in the poll, I don't know. There should not be ties in the poll, but I digress. The Cyclones looking to finally have that magical season they've been waiting for years with Matt Campbell. They look like they may finally be having it. And I simply don't think the Red Raiders are as good as the record says they are at 5-3. I think they're pretty fraudulent. And the spread says 18.5. I don't know if I'd go that much. Iowa State being 18.5 point favorites, but still give me the Cyclones here over the Red Raiders. Yeah, they just don't look impressive at all. The game, and this night slate is tremendous in college football. We're going to start with the game I will be at. Williams-Brice Stadium, Columbia, South Carolina. The Gamecocks, coming off a bye week, 4-3, take on the 10th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies, coming off a big win over the 8th-ranked LSU Tigers a week ago at their home in Kyle Field. And this will be the biggest game ranking-wise that I will be attending as a South Carolina student, because I was not there for the Tennessee game because I was still at Midlands Tech before I transferred in. So this will be the biggest game ranking-wise. Obviously, that Clemson game is still always going to have my heart. That was one of the best nights that I've had in a long time. One of the best nights I've ever had in sports was being a student at Carolina student section, wearing Clemson gear and watching us win. That was tremendous. But I think, unlike last year, I think Carolina pulls off the upset here. I think Carolina can do just enough to stop the run A&M, force them to get into third and long situations, and that's where Carolina dominates, and that's where A&M struggles now with out of the quarterback. They struggle on third and longs, and Carolina is great at that. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think the Carolina offense comes out of the bye week clicking. I don't think it looks like the same offense that came out of the bye week against Ole Miss a couple weeks ago. I think this team starts to click a little bit, maybe more in the pass game. Sellers comes out swinging. I mean, he will anyways. Sellers is going to come out swinging. Maybe receivers run a little bit different routes. Maybe they have different plays they're designed. But, yeah, it's going to be, I think, a Carolina upset here. And I think, yeah, it's going to be crazy. Maybe be storming the field, maybe. Probably jinx it, but, well, I'm not a Carolina fan, but, yeah, I think they pull off this upset here over the Aggies. Reed will start, the freshman, Marcel Reed. Freshman's going to go on the road and make the start in Williams-Brice at night. You know, good luck, kid. And also, by the way, the month of November has always been kind to Shane Beamer in his tenure so far with in the Midlands. So, yeah, I'm going with the Gamecocks upsetting the Aggies. Going to the upstate, the 11th ranked Clemson Tigers. I don't think there's going to be an upset here in the state of South Carolina against Louisville. The big quest is for this Tiger team. Cade Klubnik has been phenomenal after the Georgia game. He has clicked on, and honestly, since the Georgia game, he's actually been the best quarterback in the country. Statistically, he has. And so now, playing against a Louisville team, he's pretty good. Not the best defense in the world, but a very good offense with Tyler Shuck. Can Klubnik keep up this hot streak? Can he go band for band, bar for bar, drive for drive, touchdown for touchdown with a another high-powered offense? And I think he can. I think Cade Klubnik actually shows that this new version of him is for real. And I'm picking the Tigers to get that win over Louisville on Saturday night. Speaking of crazy offenses, Iowa with another 40 bomb. And now they play Wisconsin again Saturday night. Usually, historically, this game between the Badgers and the Hawkeyes decides the Big Ten West. This game, Iowa Hawkeyes, Wisconsin Badgers, NBC Saturday primetime. Usually in the past it decides the Big Ten West, but now it's just going to decide bowl eligibility, which, pretty similar. All things considered. The last time Iowa was on this list was another NBC primetime game, and I picked them to win, and they lost to the Michigan State Spartans. Last time Wisconsin was on this list was last week when I picked them to win over Penn State to upset them, which was on NBC primetime, and they lost. So it's two teams that I have been on a cold streak with, two teams that I have jinxed the past 2 weeks, two teams that I have jinxed last 2 times they've been on here, in the same spot, same network, same time slot. So I'm going with the Hawkeyes in this one at home. I think they found something with Brandon Sullivan last week at quarterback. Caleb Johnson has been the second best running back in America. And I think Iowa gets this win over the Badgers. Moving on, final game of the day, or final game of the night. There, number 18 Pittsburgh, number 20 SMU. This is crazy. Pittsburgh and SMU are playing a top 20 ACC matchup in 2024. Who would have thought? Coming in this year, this would be one of the biggest matchups of the conference so far. Simply put, it's a great breakout year for both teams. Last week, SMU should have won by 20+ at Duke, but 6 turnovers led them to only winning by 1 in overtime. Yes, they had 6 turnovers and still won on the road at a team that came in with a 6-1 record. I think this SMU team is legit. I think they become the team to beat Pittsburgh. This will be Pittsburgh's first loss on the season, period. And I think SMU remains unbeaten in ACC play. And now we start to reach potentially a scenario where we have 3 teams that are unbeaten in conference play, but none of them play each other. So how will a 3-way tie break, and who gets decided to go to the ACC championship game? I think we're reaching that point. I think it's going to happen. So an under 20-minute episode podcast. I knew it was going to be kind of quick. I didn't have a lot to talk about, at least about sports. NFL trade deadline just passed. Deontay Johnson got traded for a bag of chips to Baltimore. I did not like the trade. I thought we could have got more. We're going to start Bryce Young again. Sure, why not? Screw it. Whatever. Panthers, we're just tanking for this year. Trade back. Pick quarterback next year. Not the coming draft after. Yeah. The Hawks look terrible. We lost the Wizards twice. Season's freaking over. Reese Shar looks bad. So far. I know he's a project player, but yeah, Reese Shar does not look great already. I hit the panic button already with the Hawks, I guess. I don't know. Last night, the Dodgers won the World Series. So my prediction of a meteor hitting and making sure neither team wins did not hit. Did not bet on that. So, yeah, that's great. Yeah. So, it's been interesting. Recap my weapon predictions in case you didn't go through. I picked Ohio State over Penn State. I picked Miami over Duke. I picked Ole Miss over Arkansas. I picked Oregon over Michigan. I picked Georgia over Florida. Iowa State over Texas Tech. South Carolina upsetting Texas A&M. I picked Clemson to beat Louisville. Iowa to beat Wisconsin. And then I picked SMU to beat Pitt and knock off the Panthers. The Pitt Panthers. And so, yeah, that was my thing. I guess I'll talk about for the last couple minutes here. I guess let's talk about sports announcing class. Yeah, we were talking about a class. It's the one class I actually like. That sounds harsh for another teacher, but, the thing I actually want to do in life is sports broadcasting and announcing. I did probably will be the final game I do for the class, because you only had to do 4. I did 6. I went above and beyond just because I wanted to do them all. And I could definitely feel like I picked up my quality, my tone, my confidence. Definitely picked up a lot. And what was also really cool was realizing maybe I'm not as bad about baseball as I thought I would be. And when I did that in softball, especially when I did baseball by myself, I think I actually did pretty solid, all things considered. That was a whole lot of fun. The 6th broadcast I did was the Akron football game from the very top of Williams-Brice Stadium on the roof of the press box. Heck of a time when we first getting to be on the roof. So yeah. By the way, preface that the night before, Friday night of that week, it was back in September. So that would have been September the bada boom. Okay, September the 20th was the Friday night. I was up in Charlotte, Lenny Boy's Tap House, for the Queen's Cup tournament for XWW, and I did the producing, the music and producer on the show. So, your boy got some producing roles. I had a producer experience in professional wrestling. WWE, AEW, whoever, call me. I'm very qualified. I was able to hit everybody's music just right, besides like once. Everybody's music was hit right. The times were hit. We got out of there at a super good time. It was great, guys. So yeah, just call me up. Call me up. The day after, the broadcast, football game, and I said it was only originally, it shocked me, only me and one other person signed up for the football game. That shocked me, because I thought Gamecock football is the one time they ever would do it. Everybody would want to sign up, but nobody did, and it was weird. And so it was me and Chloe Finley, who is a up-and-coming broadcast journalist. She does great work with, I want to say Gamecock TV. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember off the top of my head here. And then another girl happened to be but they're both from Long Island. They have to both be from Long Island, I guess. Ava stepped in just to say, screw it, I don't know football, but I'll do it, just to have the opportunity. And they both did really good. They sounded like they cared. They seemed like they cared. They had a blast. It was a blast up there. Great time in that Akron game. They both did very well. And yeah, the day after, wake up very early to do the softball game, the exhibition against Wofford, very hot. And so, I'm going to say, yeah, very hot. And Wofford, by the way, their women's softball team had their numbers. You couldn't even see their numbers, so you could barely tell who was on the field ever. I did that with Abianati, the star volleyball player for the Gamecocks, who was taking this class. Maybe she wants to try and do maybe something in sports media. And she had a slow start when we were doing the softball. I started the broadcast off first 2 innings. She did the 2 after. It was a 10-inning game. It was just a scrimmage. And so started slow, picked it up towards the end, built her confidence up so much just in that one game. And yeah, she did a pretty good job there, all things considered. Didn't know the sport at all. And I was at least very proud that she was learning from herself in the moment. Seemed like she cared. She had a lot of great notes. Yeah, pretty good. And then I did I picked up a random baseball game, like on the fly, just because I was like, yeah, might as well do this. I've done those to do that week. So they did an exhibition game by myself, just Garnet and Black. I have that uploaded on a lot of places as part of like the clip show. I'll chuck that down to a clip. For now, it's just a full game. I don't have time to clip right now. I'm very busy. So I did that by myself. I actually did pretty solid, I think. Which I don't think I do with baseball. And then the Allen football game, that was a mess. I had to re-record the whole game by myself, which I hated. I was heartbroken when I had to do that. But yeah, it was a great game. My partner, Kale and Kyron, did a great job throughout. And so that led us to the women's basketball game Tuesday night. And I was excited because I got to work with Abby again. I wanted to see. I was there with her first. Now I'm here with, I think that was her last for the semester. I don't know if she'll do broadcasting, like game broadcasting. But yeah, now I'm here for this, her fourth. Very much improved. I can tell that she has been working on this so much, and it helped a lot that, she knows basketball too, a lot more than softball. And yeah, she was on it very well. And yeah, I was very proud, very pleased to see how much she's improved as a broadcaster from the first time we did it. And it was also weird doing the two broadcasts there, the women's game and then the men's game. I'll get into that because like everybody would come up. I felt like a third wheel. Everybody would shake her hand, talk to her, and whatnot. And then I kind of felt a third wheel because she's the star volleyball player. And then the day after, last night, I should say, 2 days later, the men's game, I was with Michael Lipson, was my partner for the game. He was freaking great. He said like he didn't know basketball a lot. He was a baseball guy. Bro, he was phenomenal. Holy crap. Like, no shit. Like, the best in the class. Like, oh my God, he was like on it. And I was like, wow. And yeah, that was great. He was great. And touching back up on the Avi part, it's about 2 seats to my right, Erica, who is the photographer for like damn near every Gamecock related thing, pretty much everything involved in Columbia, in the greater Columbia area, basically. The official photographer, and everybody, I guess, knew who she was. So it's kind of weird, I guess, being the third wheel. But hey, I guess connections, I guess. I don't remember if I heard if she submitted a clip for that. But they seen her and Andy seemed like they were on it as well. Yeah, so going into that class, because I focused on it a lot more than others. Should I not? I don't know. But I felt like I was going to be a lot more critical of others, which I probably I don't want to say like I don't mean like outwardly, but like internally, be a lot more like critical just because like I'm getting into this. But I quickly realized like some are just doing this just to like do it for fun and see what they got, and maybe even pick up public speaking skills in this class. And it made me really seem a whole new light. And I learned that very quickly. But it's about my first broadcast. And now that I've done it, and by the way, that me feeling that way was like gone by like the first week. When I just realized like people are just signing up for fun. Well, some people are. A good bit of people are just signing up just to like have this and just see what they have. Maybe it could work out, maybe it couldn't, but at least try it. And at least that's what I've seen. Everyone has tried their hardest, their damnedest. It seems like everybody has put in work. They've made sure to improve so much. And I can say that about pretty much every class I'm in. Because everybody I know, there's some class there's a lot of people, and I'm not good with faces. Or I'm not good with names. Good with faces. But yeah, everybody who, at least in that sword class, has done so good at trying to improve their craft, trying to sound more confident, sound more, I don't know what the words are, guys. You know what I mean. Everybody seems like they're on their A game, and I'm proud to see that. So yeah, if you're still listening, thank you. I just kind of rambled, trying to give flowers to anybody who I could. If it's like if it's always if it's a short episode, I'll try and throw flowers at somebody. Next time I try and throw flowers at whatever. I don't know. It's just because it was the last time for the semester I'm doing like a broadcast for the Gamecocks. I think probably last time I'll do it for the Gamecocks. So yeah, we'll see how it goes there. And after doing these, and after getting real experience being a actual sports broadcaster, yet further puts me foot in the dirt. This is 100% what I'm gonna do with my life. This is my calling card. This is my passion. So yeah, maybe next time I'll get flowers by whatever. I will never give flowers to Elliot Shock though. Ever. We need to get that XWWS championship off of him ASAP. That being said, good night to all of y'all. It is late. Thank you.